Husband caught wife cheating with his best friend, a real infidelity story. Ethan thought he had the perfect life with his wife, Mia, until one fateful evening shattered his illusion of happiness. Returning home early, he stumbled upon a secret that would turn his world upside down: Mia laughing intimately with Ryan, his best friend. As he delves deeper into their betrayal, Ethan grapples with heart-wrenching choices and the haunting question: how well can you truly know the ones you love? In the bustling heart of the city, where lives intertwined like the busy streets, Alex found solace in the rhythm of his everyday routine. He loved his wife, Clara, with a passion that felt infinite. Their life was filled with laughter, late-night talks, and dreams of a future together. But beneath the surface of their idyllic marriage, shadows lurked. Clara had always been the light in Alex's life, but lately, she seemed distant, lost in her thoughts. He noticed the small changes: her late-night work sessions, the hurried phone calls she took in the other room. Despite the nagging feeling in his gut, Alex chose to trust her. After all, they had built a life together, a partnership he believed was unshakable. One evening, Alex returned home earlier than usual, hoping to surprise Clara with a romantic dinner. As he entered their apartment, he was greeted by an unsettling quiet. The soft glow of the living room lamp illuminated Clara's silhouette, but something felt off. She was on the phone, her voice low and hurried. He caught snippets of the conversation, a flirtation laced with laughter that felt foreign to his ears. "Can't wait to see you again," she said, her tone light yet charged. The weight of those words settled heavily in Alex's chest, and he hesitated, unsure whether to confront her or let it go. That night, after Clara fell asleep, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. His mind raced with possibilities, each one more painful than the last. He decided to reach out to his best friend, Jake, who had been a constant in his life for years. Maybe Jake could provide some perspective. When Alex called, Jake answered with a warm, familiar tone. They chatted about work and life, but as the conversation turned to relationships, Alex couldn't help but mention his concerns about Clara. "Things have been weird lately," he confessed. "I don't know if I'm overreacting, but I feel like she's hiding something." "Clara? No way. You guys are solid," Jake reassured him, but there was an edge to his voice that Alex didn't like. Days passed and the tension grew. Alex decided to follow Clara one afternoon, driven by a desperate need for answers. He watched from a distance as she met Jake at a cozy cafe, their laughter echoing in the crisp autumn air. His heart raced, not just with jealousy, but with a dread that deepened with each passing moment. The sight of them together, their connection palpable, struck him like a thunderbolt. As they leaned closer, Alex felt an overwhelming urge to confront them. He pushed open the cafe door, his heart pounding in his chest. "Clara," he called, his voice trembling. Both Clara and Jake turned, shock washing over their faces. Clara's eyes widened, and for a moment, Alex saw a flicker of panic. "Alex, But he couldn't hear her over the chaos in his mind. "How could you do this to me? To us?" The betrayal felt like a knife twisting in his gut. Jake stood, fumbling for words. "Alex, it's not what it looks like." "Not what it looks like?" Alex spat, disbelief painting his tone. "You're my best friend." Clara's gaze shifted between the two men, panic morphing into guilt. "Alex, please let me explain." "Explain what?" "That you've been lying to me?" He felt a mix of heartbreak and rage, each emotion clashing like waves against a shore. As Clara attempted to speak, Alex felt something shift in the air. She hesitated, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "It's complicated," she finally managed, her voice barely above a whisper. "Complicated?" Alex echoed, anger coursing through him. "You mean you chose to betray me with him?" The weight of her silence screamed louder than any words. The truth hung thick in the air, the revelation shattering everything he thought he knew about love, loyalty, and friendship. With a heavy heart, Alex walked away, leaving Clara and Jake behind. The city felt colder as he stepped into the evening air, the lights blurred by the sting of betrayal. He couldn't fathom how everything had unraveled in an instant, how the woman he adored had chosen this path. Days turned into weeks, and the wound of betrayal festered. Clara reached out, desperate to mend what had been broken, but Alex was lost in a fog of hurt and confusion. Every text felt like a dagger, and every call echoed the silence of their once happy home. Then one night, as he sat alone, the memories flooded back. Their wedding, the dreams they had shared. Despite the pain, he missed her. But could he ever trust her again? Clara, sensing his internal battle, made one last attempt. She showed up at his favorite spot in the park, a place filled with their shared laughter and stolen moments. With a trembling heart, she confronted him, her vulnerability shining through the pain. "Alex, I'm so sorry. I made a terrible mistake. I never meant to hurt you," she pleaded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I love you and I can't lose you." Alex felt the familiar pull of his heart, torn between love and betrayal. "How do I know this won't happen again?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "I'll do whatever it takes to prove to you that I can be trusted," Clara replied, her voice breaking. "I'll fight for us, for our love." In that moment, standing under the vast sky, Alex faced a choice: hold on to the hurt or take a leap of faith. Love, he realized, was more than just trust. It was also about forgiveness. With a heavy heart but a flicker of hope, he reached for her hand. It was a long road ahead, but perhaps, just perhaps, they could rebuild what was lost, one fragile piece at a time. The shadows of betrayal still lingered, but love, he believed, could cast them away.